This an all-out blitz, real hard hits, them other podcast trash, we gon' make them all quit. We cover all the topics with intelligence and logic. I know you wanna score, but ID gon' stop it. We from Texas, so that mean that we Texans. Breaking down the X's and O's, our profession. No complaining, just training, you see the progression. They had a Pro Bowl for talk shows, we get selected. We gon' celebrate every win like a birthday. Ray J with the news, first with all the updates. Spin move on the competition, yeah, we juking them. You not really in touch if you not tuning in. This is Crenshaw, Briggs, and VT. We want the touchdown, we not trying to go for 3. And it's best if you get up out the street, cause them bulls out the pen and they bout to stampede.
Yo, and welcome to the Texans Fan Battle Podcast, brought to you by Fan Battle Sports Network. I'm your host tonight, Matthew Briggs. We got a special guest, but before I introduce him, let me kick it to my amazing trio. First off, I got our little but short but big brother, Mr. VT.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
And always, I got my A1 since day one. Started from the bottom, now we're here. I got Mr. Crenshaw.
Happy Monday.
No, sir, you got that wrong. Happy
Victory Monday.
Victory Monday.
Get that right. And guys, if you watch any Texan content from the Houston Texans, you know this guy very well. He's pretty much the face of the Houston Texans. We got Mr. Drew Dougherty. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, but we got lots of faces ahead of mine. We got D'Amico Ryans, we got CJ Stroud, we got JJ Watt, we got Dre. Let's put me way.
I appreciate the modesty, sir, but you know, when you look at YouTube or the website, you know, those play rights are the first thing they see. So you know, I gotta give you credit where credit's due, you know.
Well, thanks. It's good to be with you guys again. It's been a while.
So how you liking the season so far?
I'm loving it. I mean, how can you not? You know, it's been since the day D'Amico Ryans signed that deal to be the head coach, there has been almost nothing but great news, you know, with our team. So it's been so much fun to see it happen. I didn't believe it was going to happen until he was in the offices walking through after the news had been broken. I thought this makes it's too good to be true. This makes too much sense. It's not going to, it won't work, because even if you took out all the stuff about his history with this franchise, and we'll get into that in a second, but you just take that out and you look solely at what he had done as an assistant coach, it's like, yeah, that's the guy for the job. Hire that guy. And then you factor in, okay, he's the greatest leader in team history as a player. He's one of the best players in team history. He's got that connection to some days of yore. I mean, it's just been a grand slam home run. And then you factor in what the Texans did in the draft all the way through, not just the 2 picks at the top, but a lot of these rookies who are getting lots of significant snaps, and the way they've added and layered in some of these veteran signings. It's been a lot of fun, and, you know, happy times are back. This is a good team now. This is a very good team.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have changed with a whole bunch of injuries that happened in the NFL, but the Texans were the team with the most rookie snaps. I like I said, I don't know if it's still the same, because a lot of teams are pretty banked up. So, but yeah, man, it's exciting. You know what else is exciting? We beat the Saints here in home 20-13. Yeah. Drew, give us your thoughts about that game. I mean, you were there. What do you think about it? What was your takeaways from it?
It was exciting. You know, the 2 other victories this year were runaways. You never really were in too much of a doubt. And in this one, the Texans never trailed. They were tied a few times, but they never trailed in this one. But it was tight. You know, there were some nail-biting moments there at the end, but defense came up, 13 points allowed. I don't care who you're playing. If it's a crummy team, if it's a great team, that's a good defensive effort. Jimmy Ward, talked with him in the locker room yesterday after the win, and he's like, yeah, this is a really good defense. I think it's a defense that can get a lot better too, and can clean some things up. But just a lot of fun. You know, it's awesome having a quarterback that can do the things CJ Stroud can do and just spread the ball around to different folks each week. You know, Dalton Schultz has caught a touchdown now in 3 straight games. He's getting big chunks of yardage. We've seen Nico Collins go off. He had a great game yesterday, by the way, but we've seen him crack the 100-yard mark. No Tank Dell. Hey, not at full strength, obviously, and you want him back, but the offense was able to do some things. And then you think,
right, especially against a top 4 defense. I mean,
a really good defense. Yeah, I mean, Cam Jordan, he might be in the Hall of Fame someday. Tyrann Mathieu maybe has, there's a conversation that he could wind up in Canton too. They've got some players, and then some other guys, that I didn't even bring up, and they've got young, talented depth there up front on the front seven. So it was just a fun environment. Second straight home game where you got a lot of fans from the opposing team there. I don't think you're ever going to see it like the Steelers are going to be, but that was up there. Them, the Saints, the Packers, they always travel well. The Cowboys, they're going to travel well. It was really cool. And, I had talked with Nico before, I think probably Thursday, Wednesday, and he said, it's kind of fun when it's like that. It's kind of like a college environment, one of those neutral site games, and it gets you a little bit more juice emotionally because it's like, oh, you're in our house and you're getting loud. Well, let's keep them quiet. But it was loud throughout, and it was just really, really fun. Look, think about it. We are, a week or two away from Halloween. We're playing meaningful football. We haven't been able to say that since 2019.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I'm glad you bring up the whole fans traveling and whatnot. We kind of have a fun disagreement with our friend of the show, Cody from the Locked On Texans. He said that there was more Texans fans in the stadium, and Crenshaw, who was there, he said there was more Saints. So which way do you lean? Were there more Saints fans or? I
don't know. It seemed 50-50. I'm down in the bowl. So, I mean, they were loud. I'm not going to deny that. It seemed like a 50-50 split, but it's not. It's kind of indicative. It's sort of what's happened around here because of the last 3 years and,
right.
The problems that the Texans have gone through. But it's a league-wide thing. I mean, you're seeing, heck, the game that's going on right now as we're shooting this Monday Night Football. I wonder what the split is, Cowboys, Chargers fans out there in Los Angeles. Because you see, like, the Eagles were out there playing the Rams last week, and that was an Eagles crowd. And, the Vegas being such a fun destination, I guarantee you when, you're a fan of whatever team and you say, okay, we're playing the Raiders, let's travel to that. We'll at least have a fun time. We'll go to Vegas, and we'll get to see our football team play. So the dynamics of that have kind of shifted a little bit in the NFL, especially so over the last 6-7 years when they started making the secondary ticket market a little easier to access. And, it's just something you want to change that, you win, and you get your people who are season ticket holders to show up. And, the Texans are trying to do that. That's the best way to change all that. Just win.
All right. Well, I'm glad you brought up the whole CJ Stroud interception too. I mean, of course, it's technically a different drive, but he threw his interception and then got it back and went through pretty much through a touchdown.
Yeah.
In the same drive. What do you think of this man's poise? Like, it has to be veteran level already, correct?
Yeah, and I think he made a very good point the day after the Texans drafted him when he came to the press conference. He wasn't bragging. He wasn't, pounding his chest or anything. But somebody asked him something along those lines, like, "Hey, are you nervous now? You're going to be the quarterback of an NFL franchise." And to paraphrase, he said, "Hey, I'm going to be prepared. I don't know that I'm going to be, I'm not going to shrink from the moment, but I was the quarterback at Ohio State, and that's a big deal." I can't remember what it was. It was like being second to LeBron James or second to the governor. He made some funny remark, and I'm butchering it now, but think about all that pressure that you have when you're the quarterback. He's already been the quarterback of a pro franchise. Ohio State is a pro football team, That's like being the quarterback at Texas or at Alabama. I mean, that's you're the quarterback of a pro football team. You're just not designated that way because it's not in the NFL, but that's an enterprise there that you're in charge of. You're the focal point for if you're not the head coach. So I think he's been, just in that regard, prepared very, very well for it. But goodness gracious, he is so impressive at some of the advanced stuff he's doing, delivering the ball. He spreads it around. I kind of talked about it at the start. Dalton Schultz has had big games the last few weeks, and people were saying, well, what's wrong with Dalton Schultz in the early part of the season? Well, CJ Stroud was taking what was given to him, and he was lighting guys up with Tank Dell, with Nico Collins. I think you're going to see Robert Woods have some 100-yard games sprinkled in, and he's going to spread that love around. Devin Singletary, Dameon Pierce, they might go off with some stuff like that. So it's just been so cool to see because he's doing it on the field. He's doing it off the field. And heck, even when the guy throws an interception, he gets the Texans a first down. So there you go.
Yeah. BT, we kind of talked about it a little bit on Sunday, but talk about the game and what you think of CJ's poise after throwing an interception.
Yeah, I mean, I think after the interception, he didn't struggle. Obviously, I think first of all, for Nico Collins to actually punch the ball out and get it back quickly, that is amazing. You know, the bond that those two have, the chemistry that they have, and then the clarity of Nico Collins saying, "I can get that, and I can save this." You know, Nico bailed him out, and that's what you should do in a team. And it's actually working, right? Like one person makes a mistake, the other person fixes it, and that's what we saw, and that was perfect because for CJ's first interception, it really ended up in a touchdown. Yes, different drives, but it ended up with a fresh set of downs and a touchdown. I mean, you can't get much better than that for your first interception. But about his poise, one of the things I loved when I heard in the press conference was that we're talking to him about comparing last year to this year. And obviously, we've already now met the win total that we had of last year. And he's talking about the games he's lost. He's not talking about the games that he won. He is looking for perfection. He's saying that we could have won the games we lost if we paid attention to the details. He was saying, D'Amico was saying, it's always in the details. You get those details right, you'll win those games. And so I think he has that same mindset that he had at Ohio State, like that you can't lose a game. And he obviously is not looking to just be, okay, it's a rookie year. He's not looking at it as, yeah, we're doing better, so it's okay. We'll deal with getting, into some, playoffs and stuff next year. No, he wants to do that right now. And that's what I love about CJ Stroud. He's not just happy with being okay. He wants to be perfect.
Yeah. And can I add on to that's an excellent point. And one other thing he said when he was asked about that, he also essentially said, I wasn't here last year, so I don't know what you're talking about. So there's none of that shell shock that he's had to experience over the last 3 years with the Texans. That doesn't exist in CJ Stroud's mind. That doesn't exist in a lot of these guys' minds. That's gone. That's done with. A lot of these guys don't even give it, what about it. They're focused on what you're talking about, fixing details, getting better, and winning the games this year. It's been fun to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Kircho, why don't you give your take while Matt gets back?
Yeah, like I say, the way he's poised, he plays like he's a veteran, and we've been saying this like week after week about him. I kind of wish that once he threw the interception, he would have went to the sideline, like the guy when the fumble. I just want to see his take. Would he want to, right to the screen, correct this, correct that, but we didn't get to see that. But he's just been everything that we want in the quarterback, and like I say, I'm loving it, man. Like the commercials say, I'm loving it.
One of the other things that I wanted to talk about today was the defense in general, but also red zone defense. So Carr, when he at his press conference, he actually said he was frustrated because he got to the 30-yard line multiple times, and they only scored 3 points. So that's incredible because, yes, we are giving up yards because that's bend, don't break, but we're not letting them score points. In fact, last year, if you look at the stats, we were basically 27th in points allowed. This year, we're 9th. We are literally a top 10 defense. And to me, that is so surprising because I didn't expect to be that good this quick in the defense. I figured that you needed a little more time, from draft perspective for the agency. But we're literally a 9th ranked defense in points allowed. And to me, that's amazing. And I would like to know from all of you, it's like, are you really surprised? Did you expect that? Because I'm flabbergasted about how good our defense is.
I thought they'd get better. I just based on the coaching personnel they brought in, I knew, hey, this is going to be a better defense just because of the scheme, the things they want to accomplish, the stuff they're trying to do. Didn't know it'd be that good so early. And there's still a lot of season left. They got 11 games. So I'm not going to go overboard praising them, but they're good. They're good right now, and I love it. And another thing that they've been excellent at so far this season, they're +6 turnover differential. Going into the Monday night game, that was tied for 3rd best in the league. I mean, that's some rare air for what they've been doing. They've kind of been sort of around the middle in that category. Last season, I think they were underwater in that category 2 years ago. But to be +6 this early on, heady stuff, and that's another reason that they're sitting at 3-3.
Kershaw, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I expected it to get turned around, but not this quickly. Kind of remind me of that first year that we got Wade Phillips. I think the defense was bad, and then all of a sudden he took those guys, boom, top 10. So I like what I see right here. Just imagine if these guys were healthy. Imagine we had another guy that could get home when Willie Anderson is getting double team, triple team, and everything. So just imagine when we get some more players next year, man. This defense could be top 5, man. So it makes CJ life even better and everything, man. But D'Amico's doing a great job, man. D'Amico, Burke, both of them doing a great job with the defense.
I'm going to keep beating a dead horse until it doesn't work no more. D'Amico Ryan's 1% better each day works. I mean, the defense is getting better each day. We talk about how CJ Stroud doesn't make the same mistake twice. You can say it's the same thing about this defense. The defense is actually improving. They're fixing what they need. The run game is terrible. Well, this is how we fix it. Oh, we should have done this in the pass game. Well, let's fix it. Like Crenshaw said, if Perryman comes back to help the run game a little bit better, especially in coverage, the defense is going to be a lot better. Stingley comes back. I mean, we're still a little banged up on the linebacker and secondary position. Those come back, man. Drew, you're right. 11 games is a long stretch. But I think me and BC's been saying this the whole time, this whole season. I think he'd be a top 5 defense. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh well.
Yeah. Top 5 or not, it's clearly just so much better. And it's giving you chances to win. It's helping you win games. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Well, Drew, why don't you tell us what do you think was the difference between the Falcons and Saints game? What did you see there?
6s instead of 3s, and you didn't give them you buckled up on those final defensive drives late. You had Cashman and Shaq Griffin with the big 4th down stop on that, I guess, penultimate next to last drive, and then you answer on the final one, and you get the pick from Steven Nelson. Either way, whether it's a pick, whether he slaps it down or whatever, you come away with the dub there. But, CJ joked last week, they said, what did you learn about yourself after that Falcons game? Because he just led that scoring drive. And he said, I left him too much time. And so, it didn't matter this week. There was plenty of time for the Saints, and the defense came up. The defense, came through when it mattered. So how many times in 17, how many times in 18 and in 19, when the team was good, did we see the quarterback lead the offense on a drive that gave the Texans the lead, and then the defense would falter and let that lead slip away? That happened a lot. At New England, the list can go on and on. At Philadelphia in 18, it happened time and time again. Didn't happen yesterday. So I think coming up with the stop late, that's a big component of winning. If you're gonna want to be with the big boys, you got to be able to stop a drive after you make one to take that lead. Yeah,
and also, I see the difference too is they changed up the play calls, right? Like last or against Atlanta, Singletary had no carries at all. And then this week he had, I think it was 12, 13 carries. They're finally doing the running back committee, giving breaks, and has given the defense time to get rested. Because I think in Atlanta, they tried to make a defense stop, but they were so gassed from being on the field so long for all those 3 and outs. I think Slowick is like, okay, I gotta tinker a little bit. And look, hats off to – you're right, D'Amico is the man, but hats off to Bobby Slowick, because Slowick is dude is playing chess, not checkers, for sure. So, Crenshaw, what about you? What do you think?
The difference is, to be honest, the Saints missed field goals, and that saved our asses right there. And then at the end of the game, the Saints needed the touchdown, and Atlanta just needed a field goal, so it was much easier for them to beat us as well. But like you said, the calling more run plays, they got all the running backs involved, it kept the defense on their heels, because they came into the game like, okay, well, we're going to take away the pass, we're going to make them run, since these guys haven't been running the ball well, and we ran the ball well, we made them adjust. We made them play our game. And that's something that we need to do going forward because we don't need to be one-dimensional, man. We need to make them guess, man. Make them guess. Hell, if you even got to move CJ out the pocket, let him get some yards on the ground. Do that as well, man. You know, just make it. It shouldn't be where us fans know what's going to happen. You know, we need to be like, whoa, okay, I didn't see that coming, Bobby. I like that right there. So
and we've
that's
said that a lot this year, haven't we?
yeah, you know. So it's like, okay, you sure you a rookie, you know, OC? Because I don't know about
Right.
this right here. So yeah, that's my difference right there, man. And like I say, I just can't wait till, you know, right now he's watching film, you know, on the bye week and see what's going to cook up for Carolina.
Yeah. Next time you see Bobby, Drew, you need to tell him we need more some of those receiver sweeps, either with Tank or more with touch. Like we need to see that more. Oh yeah, for sure. BT, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the splitting carries between Pierce and Singletary were great. I think he's also using them properly. Like if you noticed, Pierce ran power on the outside, and then it was more zone for Singletary on the inside. So he's giving them exactly where they excel at. And additionally, as you talked about Xavier Hutchinson, he's throwing things in there that they're not necessarily expecting. You keep them guessing. We're not talking about necessarily just trick plays like the Singletary pass to Schultz. We're talking about continuous things that he can do over and over again, not something that you can only do once. So I definitely think Slowick's play calling has changed between the Falcons game and the Saints game. The other thing is it's very, very balanced. We were almost on the note, 50% between run and pass. We're almost on the note between splitting carries between Singletary and Pierce. Very balanced, keeping guys fresh on offense, not having to drain Pierce, not having to drain Singletary, keeping the defense guessing whether we were going to run and pass. And I think that, and I wanted to address Crenshaw's thing about the Saints just missing field goals. I understand because that was James Roy, who's another Texans content creator, said that. And my comment on that is we wouldn't have had the same play calling if that would have happened. We would have made sure that we would have to put more points on the board, frankly. But we did. But the thing is, the way that because they missed it, we were able to change what we needed to do on offense. At that point, it was simply, okay, stop them, not, okay, put your foot on the gas, right? There's two ways to win that game. And we were basically saying, all right, score here and take as much time as we can off the clock instead of, scoring quickly, like a 2-minute drill, even when it wasn't, and then getting the ball back and doing it again. That's what we could have done and what probably would have done if they made those field goals. So I don't think that just because the only reason we won is because they missed the field goals. I think we called the right plays because they missed the field goal. And so I think we're seeing week to week, we're seeing changes in the offense. We're definitely seeing changes in the defense. The fact that we didn't do soft zone coverage in the fourth quarter, you win or lose games in the fourth quarter. And I know that I'm the stat guy all the time, and some people don't like it, but I got to bring it up because last year we were giving up at least 7 points in the fourth quarter. This year we're giving up 3. So that is a huge difference on how you stay, because what happened last year? We lost a lot of games in the fourth quarter. And so now we're playing all 4 quarters. We're playing all phases. Not the defense is working, the offense is working, and let's not forget about special teams. The amount of times that we were able to pin them back under the 20 was significant. So all 3 phases got played well on Sunday, and so everyone deserves credit.
All right, I got a question because I don't remember. Okay, so when they missed their first field goal, the 50-some yarder, and we got the ball at the half, did we score on that drive right there?
Right off the no, not that drive. We did score at the third quarter, but not the drive right away.
But so we did score off the missed field goals, correct?
On one of them, we did. And here's another thing too. We could have gone on a 4th and 1. And remember, C.J. Stroud actually looked over the sideline because he wanted to go on 4th down, and D'Amico said no. So there are things that we could have done if they made those field goals.
Fair.
Any rebuttal there, Drew? You look like you have something to say. Anything?
No. I was actually I was thinking about the special teams because, last year you lose 13 games, yet you still had an elite special teams unit. And now that you got Cam Johnston back, and he he looked like Cam. Yesterday he looked like the Cam Johnson of the last couple years. I mean, he had one of those viper bite punts where it bounced at the 4 and then spun back to like the 11. They've been pretty darn good. I mean, we've seen the blocked field goal from Will Anderson. I think we're going to see a return here for a touchdown. In addition to what we saw from Beck, from one of the other like true return guys for a touchdown. I mean, that Andrew Beck kickoff return. If you want to get wacky, you could say that's the play of the year, kind of the turning point of what we've seen on the season so far, because you're still leading that game, but they're kicking off and they've got momentum and they think this is the Texans. We're going to take care of these guys. And he extends it, gives you back that double-digit lead, just energizes your sideline, and you roll to the victory there. You win the next week. You're close in Atlanta, you lose there, and then you win again yesterday. I mean, you're 0-2. Maybe looking at an 0-3 start, and are we saying the same things? Are we as excited as we are now? Would the Beck touchdown not have happened? I'm not saying Andrew Beck is the most valuable player or anything, but I'm just saying it was one of those really, really important turning point type of plays, not just in the game, but now looking at it probably in the season.
All right.
And that's a special teams play. So
I'm glad you give him some love. On Sunday, we did a recap after the game, and we gave game ball nominations. Crenshaw gave his to, of course, his boy Nelson. VT and I gave it to Cashman. I also gave one to Will Anderson, and we all gave one to CJ Stroud. Who would you give a game ball if you were Coach D'Amico?
Excellent choices all. So since y'all took them, I'll go with Nico Collins. 4 catches, 80 yards. 3 of them were for first downs. Another one was an 11-yarder. Didn't get him the first down, but it got him closer to the sticks. There was another catch in there, not a catch, but another pass to him that drew a PI that was in the end zone. So it took the ball down to the 1. They didn't get a touchdown off it, but they did get points. They got a field goal. But then look at the play. Safety Nico Collins made when he pops that ball loose and Titus jumps on it. It's like I joked about earlier, when CJ Stroud throws an interception, the Texans get a first down. But it's funny because I interviewed Titus last week for the pregame interview and then the Drew's Dozen interview where I just asked him a bunch of weirdo questions. And one of the questions I asked Titus was, hey, you're on offense. So what offensive teammate, if the defense was in a pinch and needed somebody over there for a possession, for a series, which offensive player would you think would do the best job? He said Nico Collins. You could put him in there at safety if the Texans needed him. And then what happens? Nico pops it out. Titus lands on it. And so I'm interviewing Nico yesterday, and I brought that up, and I didn't realize it, and he didn't hear it, but about 30 yards behind us, walking towards us, is Titus Howard, and he shouts out the Birmingham area code because they're both from Alabama. And, they had a fun time with it. And then I told Jimmy Ward about it, and Jimmy was like, oh, give him an A+. That was a great safety play. So I would give the game ball to Nico for what he did on both sides. And just huge afternoon. How much fun has he been to watch catching the ball this year? Playing with that violence after the catch and just jacking guys up. It's been really, really cool to see because we knew he was tall and rangy and he could, he was quote unquote going to get those like contested catches. And then you saw the glimpses of speed at times last year. But then, that violent part of his game has been fun to see too.
Yeah, and that's what we said on the previous podcast. Pep just kind of hindered his ability, right? Where he had to go cut back, and as a big guy like that, it's hard for him to put all his weight and to come back. And slow scheme is perfect for him. He just breaks out, and there it is. I mean, he don't have to make all these cutbacks and put weight on his knees and leads to an injury because the best ability is availability. So as long as we get to see this for 17 games, I'm excited. I'm playing some Play-Doh. I'm ready for it. So
don't eat the Play-Doh.
I definitely want to eat the Play-Doh, but
I got little kids, so that's why I got to say that. So
I do too. I have a 5-year-old. She'll be 6 on Wednesday.
All right.
Yeah. So her biggest thing right now is coloring on the walls. It's irking me. But as long as she colors Texan colors, I'm okay with it. Well, Drew, a lot of us on here are saying we have a chance at the playoffs. I am a baseball fan by heart, so I'm very superstitious. So I'm like, Don't say it. You don't talk about no while it's happening, so don't say anything. Drew, what's your thought of us potentially going to the playoffs?
The Texans in the playoffs?
Yes.
Well, why the hell not? I mean, we've got a good quarterback. You got a good defense. You got a great coaching staff. Yeah, I mean, why not? It's like I said, there's 11 more games to go, but why not? You're in it right now, and you've got everything rolling for you with a bright future that is a future this season, not just years ahead, but the future over the next couple of months. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be there, but you absolutely are a playoff contender for sure.
We got some dollars in a building not happening. I love it to happen. Like I just said, if a no-no's happening, I'm not talking about it. So I'm not talking about the playoffs until week 14, week 15, when we start the sweep of the Titans. Then I'm like, okay, I'll see you out there, D'Amico, Coach of the Year. I get it. So speaking of playoff chances, and we gave the game ball nomination. Fast forward, who do you think will likely win an award at the end of the season? Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year.
Goodness, if it keeps up, you got to think C.J. Stroud's going to be in the mix for Rookie of the Year for sure. Offensive Rookie of the Year, the way he's playing, the way he's leading. I mean, it's huge what this team has done. If you are in playoff contention and you finish with a winning record around 500, I think D'Amico will likely get some votes. So those are two. What might the final 11 games hold for somebody like Will Anderson Jr.? What might happen with Tank Dell? Those guys, they might have a say in some things as well. But right now there's a break. You're going to see another guy who has gotten a lot of fanfare the first 6 weeks of the season, and not for the same reasons. But you'll see Bryce Young in a couple of weeks, so it's going to be really fun to see. But those are, I guess, if I had a short list, I'd go with those obvious suspects.
Right. Go for gold, right?
Sure.
Can I just address the doubters for the playoffs for a moment, please? So I was a big doubter in the offseason. I said this isn't happening, right? You have a new OC, you have a new head coach, you have a new quarterback, a new edge rusher. Right. But what you're seeing right now is some of the best football that we've seen the Texans play for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you can doubt the Texans anymore. We when the season first started, in the offseason, we all did a schedule breakdown. We said what games we would win, lose, and what games we just pretty much were out of it. And I don't think there's a single game on the schedule anymore that you can say the Texans are completely out of it. When you have a quarterback that is having a historical start, when you're having a defense that is in the top 10 category, and when you have a coaching staff like D'Amico and Slowick that are surprising everyone, the doubters, Texans fans, non-Texans fans, people that said the Texans won't have a shot at the Super Bowl until I have grandkids and I'm not even married right now. So the amount of things that have gone right this season, it's pretty hard to just say the Texans don't have a shot, because we are seeing, in my opinion, something truly special that we really haven't witnessed since 2019, with having that many win streaks and stuff like this. The turnaround, in my opinion, yes, I know it's only 6 weeks, but the turnaround from having just 3 wins to 4 wins, it is insane. And I exactly as Brandon Pimpson is saying, why not? The Bengals did it in a couple of years. They got to the Super Bowl. And why? Because they had a quarterback. They had Joe Burrow. They had Zach Taylor. They had a good offensive coordinator, the good head coach. We got that now. We have all of the components and recipes for success. And at this point, all we have to do is execute. That's the hard part, right? Executing. But we got a shot. And so I'm going to say that we've got a real good shot of getting in the playoffs, a real good shot of winning this division. And I don't like to focus on injuries, because I don't like to be happy that someone's injured. But it's football, and the things should be discussed. We're the only team that has and I hope this doesn't jinx it, God please, but we're the only team that has a quarterback that's healthy right now in the AFC South. And so we do have a real shot of getting in the playoffs. And as our receivers get better, as we get healthier, the odds only get better and better and better.
For sure. Chris, you got anything to say about it?
Yeah, man. VT, get ready for the queue on this one. I guess our prayers has been answered. Drop. So yeah, man. I think we have a shot because of the division. I think the Nets game against the Jaguars going to be even bigger. Pause. So and right now we in a soft spot of our schedule, but we got to take care of business. Control our own destiny and everything. But I mean, if this team get 8 wins, that's a playoff to me. That's a great season because
It's a win, right? I
yeah,
mean,
it's a win. So we get in, we don't. But long as the team is going forward and not backwards, I'm happy with that.
That's
Drew,
a so I understand that sentiment, but just know that is not the way the players are thinking. The coaches are there. They're solely focused on like higher and higher things. That would not be cool to just get 8 wins and miss the playoffs. They think they're good. So and it's refreshing.
And they are.
Here, yeah.
They are. They're like, this is not just hype. They actually are good.
Yeah. Massive improvement though if you do get 8 wins. But yeah, there's not going to be anybody satisfied with that.
well,
I'm glad.
Drew, I know you're a dad like me, and the little ones keep you up, so we won't keep you much longer. We do this thing with our guest as a hot take. So let's get a hot take. Now, it could be anything from trading for Derrick Henry or to, Taylor Swift comes to one of the games. It could be anything. What is your hot take for? Oh, because we're basically at the bye week. So what is your hot take for the Texans at the second half of the season?
Oh, okay, it's got to be Texans related. It can't be candy corn.
Screw it. Let's do both of them. I mean, we do NFL and Texans. I'm okay with it.
My friends, the candy corns, they've taken way too much heat over the years. All you people that hate the candy corns, just chill out. All right, they're fine. You don't have to eat them. Take it easy. All right, it's off base. But hot take for the Texans. Man, we should have let me formulate one more in advance. But yeah, I don't think it's a hot take talking about the playoffs with them. It's like I said, why not? Why not? Like, what's to keep them from doing it? But how about this? CJ Stroud has thrown 1.5 touchdown passes per game on average so far. So if that holds up, he gets to 25 and change for the season. My hot take is he breaks the franchise record for touchdown passes in a season and throws like 32, 33, because isn't it 31 franchise record? That's my hot take. I'll go with that. He's over 32, 33 touchdown passes in 2023 as a rookie. Boom.
Love it. I love it.
Is that kind of lukewarm take, or is that hot?
That's hot.
No, that's hot. I like it. I thought
my candy corn take was a lot hotter, but anyways.
It was.
I'm going to disagree with you on the candy corn take, but
It's fine.
Yeah. I actually don't disagree. I'm with you, but no one else agrees with me except for you. So I'm with you there.
Well, okay,
I think we can all agree. We can all agree, though, if you pass out toothbrushes on Halloween,
your house deserves to get
You're awful. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Pass out toothbrushes.
So, since you had a hot take on candy corn, let me get your hot take on this one. You go to the nice steakhouse. How are you ordering your steak?
Now, I don't know where you're going with this, but it's okay. However you want to eat your steak, eat your steak.
No, it's not. Come on. Which way should it be served?
I get mine medium rare plus to medium. That's what I get. But if you want yours well done, get it well. My dad was hockey puck guy. I used to wait tables. You guys are all young. I don't know if y'all remember. There was a restaurant called the Mason Jar. There were a few locations around Houston. And when you filled out an order for hamburgers or steaks, you had to ask, hey, how do you want this cooked? And there was rare, medium well done. And then there was hockey puck, which is like charred on the outside, super, super gray and burnt on the inside. So my dad was in between well done and hockey puck. And I didn't know you could eat steak like with it being medium until I got to college, and it was like, caveman seeing fire. I was like, "Roo." So yeah.
Our boy Crenshaw, he loves his steak beef jerky, so it's kind of a running joke.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what you like, man. Go for it. That's what you
No,
like.
it's not fine, Drew. It's not fine.
Totally fine. He likes what he likes, and that's okay.
Crenshaw, tell us real quick, what's your hot take for the rest of the season?
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off Drew. He says he's gonna break the franchise records in touchdown, and I believe he's gonna break the franchise record in passing yards. He's gonna beat the other guy that was used to be here, and it's really possible if he keeps it up and everything. It's really, really possible. I mean, if he does that, both of those in the same year, look out, NFL. We coming.
Ooh, all right, BT.
So my hot take is that I think that CJ Stroud will win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and D'Amico is going to win Coach of the Year. I think we're going to have 2 awards coming here, and it's going to be that much of a turnover.
All right. My hot take is we're going to have 3 All-Pros on the team.
Who are they?
I'm going to say Jalen Petrie, Laremy Tunsil, and, of course, CJ Stroud.
Okay. I still think my hot take about candy corn was the hottest of the hot takes.
Yeah, you went. I mean, you're right. Ours was lukewarm, and yours was on fire. So, Drew, man, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Thanks for coming on. It means a lot to us. Tell everybody where we can find you, what you got cooking. That way we can support you.
At Dougherty Drew on Twitter and HoustonTexans.com. YouTube. Go subscribe to the Houston Texans YouTube channel. Those guys that are putting these videos together and guys and girls that are editing stuff together, they're phenomenal. We got more stuff in the works this offseason. It's going to be so much fun. I'm really, really proud of a story I got to take a part in telling or have a part in telling this last April. In March, we went out to Arizona to Malik Collins's. There's an undersung guy. We didn't talk about him, but he has a boxing gym. And this boxing gym helps. The main people they train are people with Parkinson's. And so he's kind of given these people a new lease on life in a lot of ways. It's really like he's got a new family from this. And it was really, really fun to go out there and see it. If you just type in "Stay Tall" on our in the search area, or type in Malik Collins' name on, you'll see it. And it's a lot of fun. Or Malik Collins Boxing. But we got some cool stuff going on there on YouTube and on Twitter. We got some fun, but happy times are back, man. Houston Texans are on a roll, and you should be excited about what you're seeing if you're not already.
Oh, love it. Crenshaw, what about you? Where do we find you?
You can find me at Fifth Ward Crenshaw. Drew, man, what I noticed about you over the years, you smiled a lot, man.
I smiled a lot?
Yeah, you smiled a lot, man. That's a good thing. Like, you're always happy and everything.
Oh, okay.
Man. Hey, yeah. Hey, so I remember you majored in Spanish, correct?
Yes, I did.
How often do you speak it?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I speak it at least twice a week. I did it yesterday. I host a show called, it's a segment called Puntos Extra Points. And I interview Enrique Vasquez. He's our Spanish play-by-play voice after every home game. And then during the week, we do a Zoom, and I kind of ask him 2 questions about the matchup to come and what's going on. So at least 2 or 3 times a week, and it's a lot of fun. And I actually get to put my Spanish degree to use, because not all of us can say that about some of the stuff we studied in college. We wind up studying one thing and we go do something else, but I'm actually doing it. So, it's been fun.
Did you get to speak a lot to the Roy Lopez before he left?
Roy Lopez, he didn't speak too much, but Roy is the guy who let me know about the Malik Collins boxing story. I was interviewing Roy, and he just kind of casually said, yeah, when I'm back home, sometimes I train and keep in shape at Malik's boxing gym. And I was like,
Come again?
I tucked that away. And like 2 days later, I was actually walking across to practice across the bridge on Kirby, and I was with Malik, and there's nobody else around. I said, hey, what's the deal with this boxing gym? And Malik lit up, started talking about it. And Malik's a kind of a quieter type of guy in general. And right as we're about to part ways, and I'm going to go over towards the media section, and he's going to go on the field to practice, he's like, oh, but the coolest thing is we train people with Parkinson's. I was like, I think I did a 360 with my neck. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I said, it's October. We can't do anything right now, but I'm going to talk to you at the very end of the season. And I want to say, hey, let's set up a time in March or April because we'd like to come and see it. He's like, let's do it. Followed up, and it came to be at the end of March. It was awesome. It was a really, really cool time.
I'm going to have to check that out as soon as I get
Please do and share it. It's something we're really proud of.
All right, BT, where can we find you at?
You can find me at Brown Chubby Bear everywhere, Twitter, X, Threads, you name it. I will say something about the Texans YouTube. You guys have been doing some fantastic stuff lately. So, it's really been pumped up. Plus, you have these new cinematic recaps of every game. I find those amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome. That's not me. That's some other people doing it. You're right. It's awesome.
I mean, overall, I'm just saying the entire YouTube channel. That, like, if you're a Texans fan and you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I don't know what you're doing with your life, because there's really some great stuff in there. So all social media now, it has really ramped up. Like, overall, the whole multimedia aspect of the Texans, YouTube, social media, all that stuff. You obviously, it's been fantastic this season.
And also, if you're a Texans fan and you haven't subscribed to the best Texans podcast, shame on you. Subscribe to the Texans Fan Battle. You can find me at A1 Day 1 Texans everywhere. Also on the fanbattlesportsnetwork.com. I got some great articles about the Texans recap, and I'm going to write a couple other ones about how music and football go together, especially hip hop. So make sure you check that out. And like I said, Texas Fan Battle everywhere. Like, subscribe, follow us, whatever you want to do. Just support us. We got some big things coming. Again, Drew, man, thank you. It's been an honor. Other than your candy corn take, it was perfect. Perfect.
Thanks, guys. I always have fun talking with you. I appreciate y'all having me.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have a good week, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday.
This is Crenshaw.